Okay, on this page, we are actually going to be graphing some of our ordered pairs and our equations, okay? You can use tables and graphs to represent equations in two variables. The table and graph below represent the equation y equals x plus 2. So in our table, we're going to be listing our x variables and our y variables. So the x variable, or the x, will go there, and our y will go there. Remember, our x is our independent variable, and our y is our dependent variable. Okay. So in our equation, y equals x plus 2, if we plug in our x of this first one, so 1, 3, and our 3 into our y, we would have 3 equals 1 plus 2, which is correct. Okay, so these are all going to be ordered pairs that work with our equation. Okay, so in our table, we're going to list our x's and our y's. So our x in 1, 3 is 1, and our y is 3. And our next one, our x is 2, and our y is 4. And then in the third one, our x is 3, and our y is 5. Okay? And then next, we are just going to graph those. Okay? So our first one is 1, 3. We're going to go to the right 1, and then we go up 3. Then our next one, we go to the right 2 and up 4. And then our last ordered pair, we go to the right 3 and then up 5. Okay, and they form a little line like that. And that's all we're doing. Okay, so we were just graphing them on this one. In this example, it says, an athlete burns 200 calories weightlifting. The athlete then works out on an elliptical trainer and burns 10 calories for every minute. I'm going to underline that. For every minute. Write and graph an equation in two variables that represents the total number of calories burned during the workout. Okay. So the first thing I need to do is come up with my equation. Okay. So we're going to have two variables. We're going to have m and we're going to have c, just like here. Okay. So m represents minutes. I'm going to put an M above minute. And C represents calories burned. So we want to know how many calories were burned during the entire workout. Okay? So C is what we're trying to find. So it's going to be C equals something. Okay? So it says an athlete burns 200 calories weightlifting. The athlete then works out on an elliptical trainer and burns 10 calories for every minute. Okay? So if we have 10 calories for every minute, that's going to be 10 times m, okay? So if we were on the elliptical for 1 minute, we would burn a total of 10 calories. If we were on the elliptical for 3 minutes, we would burn 30 calories, okay? But we also burned 200 calories weightlifting. So we're going to add 200 calories there, okay? Because that 200 stays 200 because that's how much we burned weightlifting. And then on the elliptical, we burned 10 calories for every minute. So that's the one that's changing. Okay? So that's our equation. So C equals 10m plus 20. So over on our equation in our table, our m is right here. So it's giving us our m that we're going to fill in. Okay? So we're going to have 10 times m, which is 10, plus 200. Okay? Our next one, it says 20 minutes instead of 10. So we're going to have 10 times 20 plus 200. And then our last one is 30 minutes. So we're going to plug in 30 for minutes. So we get 10 times 30 plus 200. Okay? And then to find our calories, we have to actually solve it. Okay? So 10 times 10 is 100. Plus 200 is 300. So on this first one, we burned 300 calories. Okay, go ahead and solve these next ones. Pause it and solve them to see if you get it right. Okay. So 10 times 20 is 200. So 200 plus 200 is 400. And then on this next one, we have 10 times 30, which is 300, plus 200 is 500. Okay. Next, we have to come up with our ordered pairs. So our M is just like our X, and our C is just like our Y, okay? They're just an M and a C instead of X and Y, okay? So M, over on the left, we started with 10. And so that means if we run on the on the elliptical for 10 minutes, altogether we're going to burn 300 calories, because that's what we got for C. Okay? So on this next one, this means if we run for 20 minutes, we're going to burn 400 calories. And if we run for 30 minutes, we're going to burn 500 calories, just like that. Okay? And then we're just going to graph these as well. So 10, 300. Be careful, because our X is going up by 10, and our Y is going up by 100. So you got to be careful that you're marking these in the right spot. So our 10, we're going to go to the right 10, and then we're going to go up to 300. So our 300 should be right in between 200 and 400. And then our 20, 400, go to the right 20 and up 400. And then our last one, 30, 500, go to the right 30 and up 500, just like that. And then draw your line like that. Okay. Next, a train averages 40 miles per hour between two cities. Use a graph to show the relationship between the time and the distance traveled. Okay. So our distance formula is D equals RT. So D stands for distance. R stands for speed, so kind of like the rate. So R equals speed. And then T is going to be time. Okay, so that's our formula. So we have on here 40 miles per hour. That is our R. That's our speed that we're going. We're going 40 miles per hour. Okay, so that means we're going to erase this rate. And it's going to be D equals 40 times T. So now we know our equation. We are going to plug our times into our equation to find our distance. Okay, so our equation is 40 times T equals D. So 40 times T. So our time is on the left box. So we have 40 times 1. And the next equation, we have 40 times 2. And then we have 40 times 4. And then 40 times 6. Okay, so we're plugging these numbers on the left in for T, because so it's saying we're going to figure out how many miles we go if we drive for 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, and 6 hours. That's what we're figuring out. Okay, so that means in this first box, if we drive for 1 hour at 40 miles per hour, our distance is going to be 40 miles. In the second row, if we drive for 2 hours at 40 miles per hour, we're going to go 80 miles. Okay, so all we're doing is multiplying. If we drive for 4 hours, we're going to go 160 miles. And then if we go driving for 6 hours, it's going to be 240 hours. So our ordered pairs are T, D. T is X, D is Y. Okay. So our T, that's 1 hour. If we drive for 1 hour, we go 40 miles. On our second one, if we drive for 2 hours, we end up going 80 miles. Okay, try these next two on your own. Okay, if we drive for 4 hours, then we will go 160 miles. And then if we drive for 6 hours, we'll go for 240 miles. And then all that's left to do is to graph them. So our first one is 1, 40. We're going to go to the right 1 and up 40. Okay, I know that's 40 because it's halfway between 0 and 80. Next, we have 2, 80. So you're going to go to the right 2 and up 80. Okay, next we have 4, 160. We're going to go to the right 4 and then up 160. And then next we have 6, 240. We're going to go to the right, 6, and then up to 240. Just like that. Okay? And then draw your line through all of those. And you're done. Okay, so that means if we wanted to find out any other hours, we could just put them in. So at 3 hours is right here. And that is, let's see, that is 120. So at 3 hours, we go 120 miles. At 5 hours, we go 200 miles. Okay, so you could keep doing that if you wanted. You can find it at any point in time. Okay? Remember, X is your independent variable and Y is your dependent. That's going to be important on the homework. Okay, you can email me if you guys have any questions.